Good evening, fellow Palestinians, friends of Palestine, and members of Parliament. I stand here today in this time and place, 14,223 kilometers away from Jerusalem, talking to you about a dream that has survived over a century, the Palestinian self-determination. It's a surreal feeling to be this far geographically, yet so close emotionally and politically to the heart of the matter. For the past 107 years, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have been murdered and martyred, fighting colonialism in all its forms. We honor them today, and we honor the resilience that runs through the veins of every Palestinian from the river to the sea and across the diaspora. We gather on this National Day to reaffirm clearly what the Palestinian aspiration is. It's simple yet fundamental. We seek an independent, sovereign state, a state free from the occupation and free from institutional injustice, a state centered on equality, human rights, and democracy. However, we must be honest about how we get there. We have heard enough words. We do not need more lip service from nation states that have recognized Palestine on paper but ignored it in practice. We need states such as Australia to act in good faith. Recognition is not just a diplomatic gesture. It must be a commitment to support the Palestinian people's long road to freedom and self-determination with tangible action, not just empty rhetoric. To understand why this support is owed, we must look at the hard truth of history. Remind yourselves of the injustice of 78 years ago. In 1947, the UN recommended the partition of Palestine. They proposed that Palestinians control 49% of the land while giving the Jewish community 51% of the land of Palestine. Why was this unjust? Because facts matter. At that time, Palestinians owned 94.2% of the land, while Jewish population owned only 5.8%. That unfair partition plan set the stage for a catastrophe. In 1948, over 1 million Palestinians, including both my grandparents on both sides, were dispossessed. It was the start of an ethnic cleansing that has continued largely unchecked to this very day. Today, the descendants of those dispossessed number over 5 million in the West Bank and Gaza alone. And look at the geography of their confinement. In the West Bank, 3 million people have been squeezed into a landmass that constitutes no more than 10% of historic Palestine. They're surrounded by illegal settlements, suffocating checkpoints, and an apartheid wall that slices through their lives and land. In Gaza, the situation is even more dire. Before October 23, 2 million people were already living in an open-air prison. Now they have been squeezed into half of what was the Gaza Strip, forced into yellow zones and red zones. The 2 million people are now confined to a space that has been turned into rubble, that constitutes no more than 1% of historic Palestine. And we also cannot forget the 2 million Palestinian citizens of Israel, relegated to second-class status by over 65 discriminatory laws. Their lands are confiscated to build exclusively Jewish cities. Meanwhile, they are trapped in underfunded towns with dilapidated infrastructure, systematically prevented from building homes for their growing families. Yet, despite this shrinking geography, the Palestinian spirit remains expansive. Over thousands of years, Palestine has witnessed invasions, colonial projects, wars, and catastrophes. Empires have come and gone, but our people are still there. They are holding on to their dear land and life with a grip that history cannot loosen. In this modern age, which claims to value democracy and the rule of law, we ask the international community and all people of good faith to support us, support the Palestinian people as we hold on to our own existence. The road forward is clear: a sovereign Palestinian state representing the rich mix of ethnic and religious communities that have lived on the land for millennia. Some say this is a dream, but it is not impossible to imagine. After all, our Holy Land is the land of the prophets and the land of miracles. We Palestinians are big believers in God's grace and the miracles He has bestowed and keeps bestowing upon us. We ask the international community to believe in us and in our vision for a free Palestine.